Now that the negatives are out of the way, it's time to celebrate the best of the best for 2018. Usually, I just do a roundup of the 10 best across all platforms, but I decided to try something different this year. Instead, I expanded my scope and decided to make a wrap-up video for Nintendo Switch and PS4. After that, I will have a top 10 across all platforms and specifically number them. For the purposes of this video though, these games are not in numerical order, all except for number 1. Okay, so let's start. Celeste. There's a reason why Celeste, out of all the indie games in 2018, made it onto the nominees for Game of the Year at this year's Game Awards. It's right next to Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War, so yeah, that's saying something. At first glance, you could just call this another puzzle platformer with a high difficulty akin to Super Meat Boy, but it's more than that. Who knew a story could be hidden in something like this? Full Metal Furies. January started the year off right for games. Well, all except for the City of Final Fantasy NT. That aside, Full Metal Furies and Monster Hunter World were just too good. Both games have some amazing co-op memories tied to them for me. Full Metal Furies is also the next title from Celador Games, who made Rogue Legacy. Need I say more? How about the fact that I played through this game twice less than a year apart? Once in January on Xbox One, and once in October for Switch. I rest my case. Hollow Knight. Adding in Hollow Knight is kind of a cheat since it came out in 2017. That said, 2018 was its console debut across the board, first on Switch, so I'm including it. If you're one of the many commenters that told me to put Hollow Knight in my Metroidvania video, even though I published it before Hollow Knight launched, well, rest easy now because I finally played it, and you are all right. It's a fantastic entry for the genre, with some great Dark Souls-y elements as well, making it a challenging but deeply rewarding experience. Iconoclasts. This is also a Metroidvania, but one that is level-based. So each area of the game is like its own map, with doors and platforms inaccessible at first, but eventually you'll learn the trick in that stage. It takes the concept of the genre and adds in elements to an otherwise straight-up action platformer. In my review, I likened it to a 2D version of Ratchet & Clank and Mega Man Legends. It's quite simply a masterwork in visuals, music, controls, and writing. It's free for PS Plus members this month, if you happen to have a PS4 as well. Just thought I'd throw that out there. The Messenger! I never got into the Ninja Gaiden series, so I have no nostalgia for it. That said, I do miss the days when ninja games were everywhere, and not just about Naruto. The Messenger is a callback to those good old days. I liken it to Shovel Knight in many ways. It has crisp pixel art, an amazing soundtrack, and just the right amount of challenge. Plus, it has some very surprising secrets, if you haven't watched any of the trailers, that is. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate! Now, I've never been a big fan of this series. I've enjoyed them at friends' places, but I never really bought into the gimmick. When it was shown off at E3 this year, I thought it was just an enhanced port of the Wii U version, which really didn't sell me. Then they announced the World of Light campaign and it piqued my interest. Anyway, long story short, this game is amazing. I will fully admit my assumptions that this game was going to be a bore were wrong. Valkyria Chronicles 4. This series has had a rough lifespan. The first game was groundbreaking, the second released on the poorly supported PSP, and the third never came out outside of Japan. Then the series was pretty much non-existent for 6 years until the action spin-off, Valkyria Revolution, launched with less than stellar reviews. So I didn't have high hopes for this even though there was a 4 in the title. Well, it may not be as groundbreaking as the first, but it's a return to form and that was enough to warm my heart. Wizard of Legend. This is sort of like the best Avatar game ever made. I'm talking of course about the Nickelodeon cartoon, not the awful James Cameron films. Anyway, this is another roguelike wherein you arm yourself with various spells attuned to different aspects of nature, like water or fire. There are tons of relics, abilities, and cloaks to collect, making each run that much more rewarding even if you die. It's on the harder side of the genre, but boy is it a blast to play, especially with a friend. Yoku's Island Express! Here is yet another Metroidvania, but with a twist. It mashed up pinball with the genre, which I thought sounded weird, but it works so well. It doesn't matter if it makes sense for an island to have bumpers all over the place, because it's just a good time. The music is chill, the art is gorgeous, and your little bug is just a carefree, happy guy. It's the ultimate feel-good game of 2018. I dare you not to smile. And last but not least, my favorite game on Nintendo Switch this year is Moonlighter. Just to clarify, the footage you're seeing right now is for PS4, but I have played both versions. I was just lazy and didn't want to recapture video. Anyway, Moonlighter is the only roguelike to come close to Rogue Legacy's mastery in my mind. There's been a lot of greats over the years, but there's something special about Moonlighter. Is it the art and fluid animations? Is it the perfect balance and difficulty? Does it remind me of A Link to the Past, aka my favorite Zelda? Do you see where I'm going with this? Basically, I loved every second of Moonlighter. If it wasn't clear in my review, well, I'm just restating it now. I don't know why this got ignored by so many, but I'm going to stand my ground and champion it here. This was the best game on Nintendo Switch for 2018. My name is Tristan, and you've been watching ReActionExaminer, wherein I do my best to create interesting videos to entertain and educate you fine folks. Be sure to subscribe, that helped me out a lot. And if you want to check out more, be sure to read my work over on The Gamer, wherein I write fun little listicles. You can also drop by my personal website, GameJerk, wherein I post other articles and reviews. All these links and more can be found in the description below. Thanks, and see you all next time.